Welcome to Brunswick Beat,
Brunswick County's only television news show, brought to you by the Brunswick Beacon. I'm Rachel Johnson.
and I'm Stacey Manning. 2 men were stabbed last Friday night at a party in Supply. 4 people are in custody under $150,000 bonds. All 4 were arrested during 2 traffic stops. Charlie Guy, Billy Lotman, Samantha Hogan, and Timothy Kennedy were taken to the Brunswick County Sheriff's Office for questioning and were later charged. Guy was charged with assault with a deadly weapon with intent to kill and inflicting serious injury. The other 3 were charged with felony accessory after the fact. All 4 remained in custody at press time.
A bicyclist was killed on Thursday, October 11th on NC 179 in Shallotte. Timothy Leonard, 57, of Shallotte, died when his bicycle collided with a Ford van driven by Lucinda Stanley. According to North Carolina Highway Patrol, Stanley wasn't in fault and there are no charges. Leonard is believed to have been under the influence of alcohol at the time. He was driving head-on into oncoming traffic when at the last minute he veered in front of Stanley's van. Leonard was pronounced dead at the scene.
Detectives with the Brunswick County Sheriff's Office have recovered a variety of stolen property in recent weeks. The property was stolen during a rash of break-ins in the Southport area. It was found at pawn shops in Brunswick and New Hanover counties. Detectives said the suspects knew the value of the items they were stealing. 19-year-old Rebecca Lane Schiff of Oak Island was arrested and charged with obtaining property by false pretense. Detectives don't believe she acted alone, and additional charges are pending.
A new rash of scammers are targeting the area. The county is thought to be a high target area because it is nationally advertised as a retirement community. Scammers are pulling out all the stops and using scams ranging from lottery and prize winnings to a loved one being in jail and even death threats. The Brunswick County Sheriff's Office warns residents to be aware and not engage in conversation with anyone they think may be attempting to scam them. Remember, if it's too good to be true, then it probably is a scam.
Despite being a place most people don't want to go, Michael Fowler enjoys going to work. Fowler is a detention sergeant at the Brunswick County Detention Center. On September 27th, he was named North Carolina Jail Administrators Association Detention Officer of the Year. Find out who nominated Fowler and what he thinks about his job in this week's Beacon.
Robert Carey Jr., 58, of Calabash Drive, Carolina Shores, died following a 2-vehicle wreck on October 5th. Carey had exited a driveway at Morgan's Body Shop and was crossing the highway to head south when his 2001 Jeep SUV hit a 2003 Jeep SUV driven by Maria Cortez of Sunset Beach. An investigator said Carey had failed to yield the right-of-way. A passenger in Carey's vehicle was taken to the hospital, as were several passengers in Cortez's vehicle. Calabash Fire Chief Randy Bork said the fatality marks the 3rd one that has occurred along that stretch of highway in recent weeks.
One Stop Early Voting launches this Thursday, October 18th, and continues through November 3rd in the county. For details and a schedule about early voting sites in the county and profiles of local candidates, pick up a copy of this week's Beacon.
North Carolina voters who vote straight ticket need to know that doesn't include the presidential race. Voters will need to pull the lever for presidential candidates separately. To help guide voters and clarify confusion, there will be a small package of information available for this year's November elections. A flyer of information will be installed on the inside flaps of voting machines, and there will also be handouts available.
A children's Halloween event in Calabash has been canceled after Town Commissioner Daria Buselli resigned last week from heading the town's Community Service Committee. She said she resigned because of unrealistic tasks the Town Board of Commissioners has placed upon her. She said she was told if she received assistance from town employees for the children's mystery dinner, she would have to deduct their hourly wages from her $400 budget. Fellow Commissioners Sandy Melahan, Emily DeSasio, Jody Nance, and Buddy Walton said they weren't aware the board had mandated that.
The 32nd Annual North Carolina Oyster Festival gets underway at 9 a.m. this Saturday and Sunday at Ocean Isle Beach. The festival takes place rain or shine, and admission is $5 per person. Children 5 and younger can get in free. Shuttles will provide transportation from the mainland to the festival site. Casey James, who plays 3rd in Season 9 of American Idol, will be the entertainment headliner. He takes the stage at 4 p.m. on Saturday. Several other local and regional bands will perform throughout the day on Saturday and Sunday. For all the details about the Oyster Festival, look for the special section inside this week's Beacon. You can find all of these stories and much more inside this week's Beacon, available on newsstands now. Welcome to the Beacon Sports Report. When the South Brunswick varsity volleyball team made the trek to Charlotte earlier this season for a critical mid-season showdown with West, the Cougars won the 4th and 5th sets on their way to a 3-2 victory over the Trojans. When the two clubs met again last Thursday in Boiling Springs Lakes in the final regular season meeting between the county rivals, the stakes were even higher. A south wind meant the Cougars would claim the Waccamaw 2A, 3A conference title outright, while a Trojan triumph would have tied the teams atop the standings, with one loss apiece. Much like the first tilt between the teams, round 2 wasn't decided until the 5th and final set. South once again erased a 2-1 deficit as the Cougars won the 4th set and staved off 3 West match points in the 5th for a dramatic victory. The state playoffs began on Saturday. The North Brunswick varsity football team scored on its first 4 possessions on its way to a 47-7 victory over South Brunswick last Friday night. The Scorpions used a balanced attack on offense and a stingy, opportunistic defense as they steamrolled an overmatched South squad. Graham Rivenbark led all ball carriers with 149 yards and a pair of scores on the ground. In the final 9-hole tournament of the conference season, South Brunswick junior Ashley Sloop shot an even par 36 on October 8th on the Players Course at St. James Plantation. Sloop overcame a double bogey 5 on the 2nd hole by making a birdie on the 3rd and 6th holes. She also made a birdie on the par 5 9th hole. Her other bogey was on the par 3 7. South won the team title as Jansen Jones shot a 45 and Jordan Saunders a 50. West Brunswick sophomore Cameron Smith tied for second, shooting a 45. North Brunswick's top finisher was Jennifer Basker in 4th place with a 49. North finished second and West third. The 18-hole championship tournament is this week. Read all these stories and see more great photos in this week's sports section of the Beacon.
Trish, who is your friend here today?
This is Luca, and she's a 4-month-old solid black cat, just a little tiny patch of white. Very playful. You can see at her age everything is a toy, including your glasses.
I see that. She's chewing on your glasses right now.
And black cats have a hard time getting adopted sometimes, but this is the only country that considers them bad luck. In England, it's considered very good luck to have a black cat show up on your doorstep.
Well, they're sweet for one thing, so.
And you can see how sweet and cuddly Luca is.
Yeah, she definitely is. And she's here waiting on a good new home. So you can come to Cattails and visit with her and all the other cats and kittens available for adoption. They're open to the public on Wednesdays from 11 to 1 and on Saturdays and Sundays from 11 to 3. They're located here in the Cornerstone Center in Ocean Isle Beach, and you can come on down and visit, right, Trish?
You can come and visit and play with the cats and take a laser pointer or a feather stick and give them some exercise. Or you can volunteer and help us clean up and keep the cats healthy and happy.
They love to have volunteers come in and play with the cats and kittens, so come on down and visit with Luca and all the other kitties.
Sue Roop is a survivor in more ways than one. In addition to being one of the featured artists in the Anything Goes multi-artist show, the retired labor and delivery nurse is a survivor of breast cancer and 2 brain tumors. Roop now immerses herself in her eclectic style of art, ranging from pastels and acrylics to watercolors and pencil drawings. You can read about Roop and her ongoing art show that continues through November 3rd in this week's edition of the Brunswick Beacon.
You will go in, but will you make it back out? Can you survive Grissetown Longwood Fire and Rescue's annual Haunted Trail for another Halloween season? It's time to try with the department's 4th annual Halloween Haunted Trail going on now at the station that is at 758 Longwood Road. The upcoming dates for the Scary Trail are October 19th, 20th, 26th, 27th, 29th, 30th, and 31st. The ghouls and ghosts usually start appearing around 7 p.m. and linger until midnight before disappearing back into the swamp. Tickets are $8 per person, with kids 5 and younger admitted free. Fast Pass tickets are available for $15. All proceeds from the Haunted Trail support the Griswoldtown Longwood Fire and Rescue. Call the fire department at 287-3030 for more information.
Autumn is a busy time of year for at Indigo Farms, which is celebrating its annual Pumpkin Day, Saturday, October 20th. There will be lots of old farm games, pig races, a hay maze, and hay rides. There will also be pumpkin painting, down-home music, a hog calling contest, and corn cob checkers. Stock pig racing continues on the Stockyard 600 circuit throughout the day. Other October activities at Indigo Farms include tours through November 16th. Nighttime hay rides are available during October at Indigo Farms through advanced reservations. Indigo Farms is at 1542 Hickman Road Northwest, State Highway 57, and it straddles the North Carolina-South Carolina state line. For more information, call Indigo Farms at 287-6794 or log on to indigofarmsmarket.com.
Musical legends Janice Ian and Tom Paxton are teaming up for a history-making concert in Brunswick County on Thursday, October 18th. The concert is scheduled for 7:30 p.m. in Odell Williamson Auditorium at Brunswick Community College. Tickets are $27 for adults, $25 for students and seniors ages 65 and older, and $10 for children ages 12 and younger. The two music icons are on tour for the first time. Doors will open at 7 p.m. and tickets are available at the auditorium box office, online at bccowa.com, or by calling the box office at 755-7416.
Tickets for country music legend Willie Nelson's upcoming December 7th concert in Brunswick County have sold out. Nelson's concert is set for Friday, December 7th at Brunswick Community College's Odell Williamson Auditorium. Auditorium Director Mike Sapp anticipated tickets would sell fast. Ticket sales launched October 12th at the Odell Williamson Auditorium box office and also online via the auditorium's website. Sapp said the quick sellout set a record for the 19-year-old auditorium.
Don't forget the deadline for the Beacon's annual photo contest is this Friday, October 19th at 5 p.m. It's only $5 for adults to enter and free for children and teens. Top prizes are cash prizes and a chance to have your photography featured in the Beacon's 2013 calendar. Don't miss out. Pick up a copy of the Beacon, fill out the entry form, and drop it by the office this week. If you have any questions, just call me at 754-6890.
That's all the time we have for tonight, but you can read all these stories and much more in this week's Beacon. If you have comments or suggestions for us at Brunswick Beat, you can email us at brunswickbeat@brunswickbeacon.com. Don't forget to follow the Beacon on Facebook and Twitter. Just search for Brunswick Beacon.
Thank you for joining us, and don't forget to tune in next week for a brand new edition of Brunswick Beat, Brunswick County's only television news show. We close out this week's show with images of the West Brunswick High School's theater department preparing for a vaudeville performance.